Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, talk about a bunch of BS rumors flying around right now in the financial world. It's not even funny. We got some guy out there claiming that XRP is going to be somewhere between a quarter to a half to maybe even $1 million. We have a hedge fund guy out there claiming that Bitcoin will hit $1 million within 90 days. Sounds to me like we got some people pumping their crypto for some last minute gains before the cryptos really crash. Let's get into this and see if any of this is even possible. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, check out our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $200, you will get an additional ½ ounce of silver with your order. Just follow the link down below in the description. No promo codes are needed. You can find me on other social media platforms like Facebook. I do have my own group called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrency, as well as foreign currency investments and any other investments you wish to talk about. Come on over here. It's free to join. Just follow the link down below in the description. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, Odyssey, and now Rumble. Yes, that's right. I finally got a Rumble. And in addition to that, you can find me over here at Pimpy's News Network. If I should ever get kicked off of YouTube, you can find me on any other one of these platforms. So come join me. It's free to do so. The links for all these locations are down below in the description. So come on over and join me. So I know I've been sleeping my life away. It feels like these last few days, for some strange reason, I can't stop sleeping. Don't know what the hell is going on with me, but I've been sleeping 13, 16 hours a day. Every time I try to even wake up, it seems almost impossible. As soon as I do anything whatsoever, I feel exhausted and I go back to sleep. The last time I felt this way, I had what was called, I guess, hibernation sickness. My body grew almost 2 inches in height, and my foot grew 2.5 inches in size. It was something crazy that my body was going through when I hit puberty, obviously. But I haven't experienced anything like it since. There's no way in hell I'm about to go through another growth spurt at my age. Anyways, let's get into this. Bitcoin, supposed to hit $1 million within 90 days. Yeah, it's off to a really slow start. In fact, it's going in the wrong direction. Bitcoin sit at $27,603. Ethereum up there at $1,757.93. XRP's at 42 cents. Wow, I see XRP move from 38 cents to 42 cents. I don't know if it's going to hit $250,000, $500,000, or even $1 million. Anybody telling you that crap is lying to you. Hex is at 9 cents. Cardano's at 35 cents. Polygon's at $1.10. Dogecoin's at 7 cents. Solana's at $20.73. Polkadot's at $6.07. And Litecoin back up into the 90s, I see, $92.24. Shiba sitting at 4.011. So we'll go ahead and keep an eye on that run of Bitcoin to $1 million within 90 days. If they indeed make a run to $1 million within 90 days, it's hard to say without laughing. But if they do, that means all the other cryptos are going to benefit just as much. This will be your time if they're going to get close to $1 million. As soon as this thing hits over 100,000, 200,000, my suggestion would be for you to grab profits out of there and start pushing it into gold and silver. Even if it does reach $1 million, get out while you can, because sooner or later that sucker's going to crash. Terra Luna Classic is at 3012. Satama is at 2019. It was at 2020, 2022. Came down just a little bit, but still hanging around that level, which is nice. Over the last day, it's come down. As you can see, it's in the red. Over the last 7 days, mostly in the green and dropped down into the red. Over the last month, it's still operating in the red, but over the last 3 months, we're way up and in the green. So Satama has a habit of doing this, and then it just recovers and continues to move forward. I'm pretty happy about Satama. But just like all the other cryptos, if Bitcoin goes up, you can imagine that Terra Luna Classic and Saitama are going to ride one hell of a wave, and their increase would be a lot more financial gain for you than any other ones. It says crypto pundits romance the hyperinflation of the dollar's death narrative. Is it a real scare? Yeah, everybody knows the dollar's going to die. But you have all these so-called pundits and these news people claiming that the death of the dollar, it's not going to happen. Oh, yes, it is. It's happening now. You can try to hype that sucker up all you want. But with all these banks crashing like they are, people are afraid about where to put their money. Well, I don't know. I had a suggestion: gold and silver. Narratives among crypto bulls are ephemeral, except one: Bitcoin is an antidote to unconventional Federal Reserve monetary policy. It said it recently reached a fever pitch on crypto Twitter thanks to venture capitalist, angel investor, Balaja Servervaza Bazbaga, I don't know how to say his name, said he'd wager that Bitcoin will hit $1 million mark within 90 days. Does anybody know what this guy is wagering? Because I want in on this action. If he's going to wager crap like that, claiming that Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million, I want in on that action. Does anybody know what this guy is wagering other than just flapping off at the mouth like all these other crypto people do? The former Coinbase chief technology officer also predicted a U.S. banking crisis that would crash the dollar and spur hyperinflation and excessively fast rise in the price of goods and services. Gee, he's just now saying that? Some of us have been on that bandwagon now for years. The U.S. dollar, the de facto global reserve currency, has yet to suffer through the type of extreme devaluation. Oh, it's going to. It's going to. There's no doubt about it. But people aren't going to go jumping on the cryptocurrencies. Well, I don't want to say that because people are bandwagoners. As soon as they see that crypto start to go up, they're going to jump on it without realizing that that roller coaster is going to take you up. But it's going to drop 500 times quicker than it went up. We've seen it happen in the past. I can't feel confident in any kind of so-called safe haven that loses 70% of its value. Even if it does go up, remember, once crypto start to crash, what do we see happen all the time? Really hard to get on these exchanges to sell your cryptos, and you can get left out in the cold if you're not careful. So if you're going to ride this bad boy and it does go up, as it's going along, start taking out your profits. That's what I would do, little by little, just to be on the safe side. Turn around and put it in the gold and silver. Balaji's prediction follows the Fed opening liquidity taps in the form of dollars lending programs to contain the banking sector's instability in the wake of Silicon Valley Bank's collapse. Similar forecasts predicted for Weimar Republic-style U.S. hyperinflation made plenty of noise following the COVID-spurred crash of March of 2020 and the 2008 global meltdown. If you think that one bank is a problem, then you're sadly mistaken. We got First Republics crashing, Deutsche Bank's crashing, BSB's crashing, banks overseas are crashing. And if you think this is all quidinky-dink, you're wrong. It was planned. The fact that we allowed our government to allow these banks to merge into a handful of banks made us very vulnerable to what's happening now. The more banks, the better. It says on both occasions, the feds poured trillions of dollars into a system through outright asset purchase or quantitative easing. Why are they giving the bankers money? You want to stop this financial crisis? You want to stop us from having an economic crisis? Won't you try doing debt forgiveness and give the money to the people? Then the people would feel comfortable enough to go out and start spending. Since we are a debt-based economy, you got people out there feeling comfortable about the economy and inflation is going down and people are spending their money, then that's a good thing. You don't have to worry about any kind of crash. But instead, they'd rather bail out their banking buddies and their politician buddies and screw the little people is what they do. Hyperinflation almost always results from a large amount of money chasing the same amount of goods and services being supplied in an economy. In other words, the money created through quantitative easing or other measures must be spent on a stagnant stock of goods and services to boost inflation, while bring back all of our manufacturing from over there in China and other countries like Trump was doing. Gold prices closed at $1,978.20. They were above the $2,000 mark, and I anticipate them getting up there again. Silver above the $23 an ounce at $23.20. They're not done. Gold and silver are not done. They're going to do all they can to continue to suppress the price of gold and silver. Yeah, people out there like JP Morgan, selling, millions of ounces just to tame things down? Go ahead. You continue to put your physical silver out there on the market, not the paper, but the silver. We have no problems with relieving that right out of your hands and into ours. I said this before and I said it again. The last time I was making a big push about silver was just a couple of weeks ago. Where was silver at that time? It was close to $18, and now it's back up to 23. So hopefully most of you started listening to what I was saying before gold and silver started to go up, and you made that move, took your money out of the bank and pushed it over into gold and silver where it belongs. More bad news for cryptocurrencies. Coinbase announces very bad news. The cryptocurrency exchange says it received a warning from this SEC suggesting a possible enforcement action. It's a very bad news that comes at the wrong time. So much for Bitcoin getting up there to 1 billion. You can't get any kind of break in the crypto world. One exchange after another exchange, if your stable coins are not failing, then exchanges are closing down. If they're not collapsing, they're being fined, or the government is tweaking with them when they shouldn't. They're not going to give cryptos any type of break whatsoever. So Bitcoin was trading these days around 28,800, up 46% since March 10th, when Silicon Valley suddenly collapsed due to bank run. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Turn around and put my money in an unstable cryptocurrency. Put it where it belongs, in the gold and silver. Now, I've been warning people about bank runs. I've been warning people about collapse of bank. And now we see it happening, not just here, but overseas. They want to push us into this central bank digital currency. We do not want merge banks. We want more banks. They should be doing all they can to open up more banks. Deutsche Bank shares plunge. Default insurance at highest since 2018. So you have Deutsche Bank continues to stumble. They'll collapse here shortly. So not only do you have Deutsche Bank, Europe will pay the price for wiping out Credit Suisse bondholders as its ex-CEO warns U.S. banks are rubbing their hands. So it looks like Credit Suisse is about to bite the dust as well. A fateful decision by Swiss authorities to impose full losses on certain bondholders of failed lender Credit Suisse. Remember, I was saying there are bonds. A lot of bonds seem to be in the bubble as well. Anyways, it said the fateful decision by Swiss authorities to impose full losses on certain bondholders of failed lender Credit Suisse will make life more difficult for European banks going forward, warned the Institute's former CEO. Gee, you don't say. I wonder what their solution's going to be. You want to take a guess? I'm going to guess they're going to come out with, I don't know, central bank digital currencies. In a column published in the Financial Times on Thursday, Tidjane Thiaban argued a distressed sell to crosstown rivals UBS appended the international financial's traditional hierarchy in which stock owners such as the Saudi National Bank are always the first to lose their shirts when a company fails. The Saudi National Bank, so there we go into another country. Again, why it is you don't want banks to continue to merge. Because when something happens to one bank, it affects them all. So it said instead of all share deals forced investors that bought $17 billion in so-called additional Tier 1 bonds to take a bath. So they're getting screwed over is what it is. Again, European banks are starting to crumble as well. Bye, banks. Recent turmoil is spurring many to move their money. Yeah, but what they're moving them into is these bigger banks. That's not what you want to do. You think you're protected over there? You think because they're big, they're going to protect you from what's coming? They're not. They're going to collapse just like all the other ones. It's planned that way. Dan Ushman isn't sure where he'll end up stashing his company's money. How about gold and silver? But he's been thinking a lot about it these days. The startup founder recently moved savings out of Silicon Valley Bank, whose specular collapsed this month, set off tremors across the financial industry, and parked it in accounts at Bank of America and Chase. While he contemplates what's next, brokerage accounts perhaps, money market funds, treasury-backed trusts, certificate of deposit accounts. Look, you're being moved exactly where they want you guys to go into. Merge them all into these bigger banks. They'll keep merging them and merging them. There's only like a very small, tiny handful of them left over, and they control all your money and then force you into the central bank digital currency because you'll have no options by then. So people ask me, what do you think if you had to choose a bank, Pimpy? If you had to choose a bank, Well, go out there and do some research. Find one that sounds reliable, because I don't trust any banks. But how about a bank like this? Zion Bank. Yes, right over in Salt Lake City. Now, I'm not suggesting you go over there, but I'm saying this is a bank that you can rely on. Zion First National Bank was founded in Salt Lake City in 1873. It's been around since 1873. That means that people that run Zion Bank know their ass from a hole in the ground. They're not having any kind of issues whatsoever. And continues its legacy of strength and stability as one of the oldest financial institutions in the Intermountain West. Now, all those people that were coming out of the Silicon Valley Bank, all those startup companies, all those tech companies, they should have brought their butt over here to Zion First National. A lot of other startup companies work with Zion Bank. They haven't had no problems whatsoever. Another thing, people are still demanding how it is that so many billionaires knew ahead of time before the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank to move their money out. Who told them? Who warned them? Because that's against the law. We want heads to roll. We want people's ass in a sling. I want to know how it is that they told billionaires to get their money out while they screwed over all the little people. Anyways, a suggestion, again, I'm not endorsing them, but Zion Bank has been around for a long time. I will leave a link for you guys to come and read up on them. Any bank that's been around since 1873 seems like a much more trustworthy bank than any of these other banks that are out there. It's just my opinion. Anyways, that's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. Are we going to see Bitcoin at $1 million in 90 days? No. But if they do, we'll benefit from it. And I'm not leaving my money in my cryptocurrencies very long. I turn around, dump them into what matters most, gold and silver. I'll look forward to your comments, and I'll catch you later. I'm out.